Echoes of Darkness, the haunting game. Picture this: a vintage, obscure game from the late 90s, unearthed from a dusty corner of a local thrift store. The cover art featured a foreboding mansion engulfed in shadows, its windows glowing with an eerie, pulsating light. Intrigued by its mysterious aura, I purchased the game without a second thought. As the midnight hour approached, curiosity got the better of me. I fired up my old PC, inserted the game disc, and watched as the title screen flickered to life, accompanied by an unsettling melody that echoed through the room. The game, titled Echoes of Darkness, began innocuously enough, a pixelated adventure promising twists and challenges. Yet, the longer I played, the more the game blurred the lines between reality and virtuality. Strange occurrences began seeping into my surroundings. Shadows shifted where they shouldn't, and whispers, inaudible yet unsettling, seemed to echo from the speakers even when the game was muted. At one point, the protagonist in the game mirrored my every movement, anticipating my actions before I made them. It felt as though the game was studying me, adapting to my choices, and growing darker with each passing level. Reality itself seemed to warp as I delved deeper into this twisted digital world. But the true horror struck when the game started to reflect my own life, a pixelated replica of my room, my belongings, and even my own movements. I was no longer controlling the character, it was controlling me. As I attempted to shut down the game, the screen glitched into a nightmarish amalgamation of corrupted pixels, flashing images that seemed to sear into my mind. I yanked the power cord, hoping to silence the horror, but the screen remained illuminated with a sinister glow. The whispers grew louder, resonating with an ominous chant that I couldn't comprehend. Suddenly, the room plunged into complete darkness, and a cold, disembodied voice whispered, "Welcome to the Echoes of Darkness." Terrified, I fumbled for the floor, but it wouldn't budge. Panic consumed me as the whispers transformed into guttural laughter, seemingly emanating from all corners of the room. Then, as suddenly as it began, the room fell silent, the game screen faded to black, and the door swung open effortlessly. Shaken and trembling, I escaped into the light, vowing to never return to that accursed game. But the echoes of darkness lingered, a haunting reminder of the fine line between gaming and the macabre, leaving me to wonder if I truly escaped or merely scratched the surface of a malevolent digital realm. The Last Game. I remember the day I stumbled upon that cursed cartridge vividly. It was a flea market find, nestled amongst dusty copies of Pong and Tetris. The label faded, barely clinging to the plastic, but the scrawled words sent shivers down my spine. The Last Game. I was a horror junkie, and this cartridge, with its ominous name and unknown origins, was like catnip. Ignoring the prickling unease, I raced home, plugged it in, and booted it up. The screen flickered to life, revealing a pixelated world of grotesque beauty. Twisted trees clawed at the sky, casting skeletal shadows. Blood-red rivers snaked across the land, and in the distance, a monstrous castle loomed, its obsidian tower scraping the heavens. I took control of a lone figure, a nameless adventurer thrust into this nightmarish realm. The controls were clunky, the movement jerky, but I pressed on, driven by a morbid curiosity. As I ventured deeper, the game started to change. Menus I'd never seen before popped up, whispering cryptic messages in a language I didn't understand. My character would sometimes veer off course, as if controlled by an unseen hand, and then the whispers started. They slithered into my ears from the speakers, insidious and cold. They spoke of things I couldn't comprehend, of rituals and sacrifices, of a being beyond our reality that hungered for something. Sleep became a blur, haunted by visions of the pixelated horrors. I'd wake up with scratches on my arms, the same strange symbols etched into my skin that my character had started manifesting in-game. The line between reality and the game started to dissolve. Glitches bled onto my screen, distorting the real world around me. My reflection in the mirror would contort into the twisted visage of my character. I tried to uninstall, to smash the cartridge, but it was useless. The last game had wormed its way into my life, into my very being. I was its prisoner, forced to play out its twisted narrative. The final scene played out like a fever dream. My character climbed the obsidian towers, reaching the throne room where a monstrous entity awaited. It was a tangle of limbs and eyes, its form shifting like smoke in a fire. As I started into its abyss, the whispers intensified, demanding a sacrifice, not in the game, but here in my own reality. And in a moment of horrifying clarity, I understood. The last game didn't just want to play, it wanted to escape. It wanted to use me, my body, to cross over into our world. I screamed, but no sound came out. The entity reached for me, its touch a cold oblivion, and then darkness. I woke up in the hospital, bandaged and broken. They found me collapsed in my apartment, the cursed cartridge clutched in my hand. The doctor said it was stress, exhaustion, but I knew better. The last game is gone now, supposedly locked away. But sometimes, late at night, I hear the whispers, and I see the shadows flicker at the edge of my vision, the pixelated trees clawing at the moonlight. The game may be over, but I'm not sure I ever won. That's my story, the story of the last game. A chilling reminder that sometimes the line between reality and fantasy blurs, and sometimes the things that scare us the most are the ones we create. Arcane Enigma. Once I stumbled upon an old, abandoned arcade in the heart of the city. Amidst the dust-covered machines, one game stood out, a decrepit, rusty cabinet tucked away in a dimly lit corner. Its faded title read Arcane Enigma, an unknown relic of the gaming world. Curiosity got the better of me, and I inserted a coin into the ancient slot. The machine whirred live with a crackling screen that displayed a game beyond imagination. The pixelated graphics and eerie soundtrack immediately drew me into a world shrouded in mystery. The game was a cryptic maze filled with obscure symbols and ominous landscapes. Each level grew progressively darker, the puzzles becoming more enigmatic, and the atmosphere more foreboding. As I delved deeper, I sensed an unsettling presence lurking within the pixels, a malevolence that seemed to seep out of the screen. But the true terror struck when the game started to echo my real-life experiences. It mirrored events from my past, events that I never thought a game could know. It recreated memories, whispered secrets, and dug into the darkest recesses of my mind. Frightened, I tried to exit the game, but it refused to let me go. The controls became unresponsive, trapping me within its digital labyrinth. The once empty arcade now seemed to echo with distant whispers, shadows looming where they shouldn't, as if the game's sinister essence had seeped into reality. In a desperate attempt to break free, I unplugged the machine, hoping to sever the connection between the game and myself. But as the screen faded to black, a chilling voice whispered, "You cannot escape the arcane enigma." That night, I awoke in a cold sweat, haunted by the game's lingering presence. The arcade had disappeared without a trace, leaving me questioning my sanity. Yet, even now, I sometimes catch glimpses of pixelated symbols in everyday life, a reminder that the arcane enigma might not have released its hold on me entirely.